Coming up next, we got purple versus muzzy. A little bit of difference in opinion here from Muzzy compared to everyone else. Muzzy is a big fan of the rogue, but I think he split his deck slightly differently compared to everyone else. He does have the mage and the warrior, but he went priest and rogue, so it's kind of both of the worlds that we talked about, which was priest hunter and then rogue paladin. Any thoughts here, DJ?
Well, another thought that I had was that Muzzy went with the Cyclomage instead of the Reno Mage. So I honestly like this deck. I think it, again, is like good decks. He's not trying to do anything too fancy. He's just playing for consistency. I do think Cyclomage is slightly more consistent than Reno Mage. Obviously, like those Highlander-style decks are always going to be a little bit inconsistent because of the fact that you only have one of every card, so your hands rarely look similar throughout like a series. But it just does things differently. And in game one here, Muzzy's going to be playing the warrior. This is a pretty standard like recent bomb warrior. One Eternium Rover, which I think it was you, Dan, that you were you the one saying that you talking about Eternium Rover? That you don't think people should play Eternium Rover?
What?
Who was it? Who was I talking to?
I would never say such a thing. Eternium Rover is one of the best cards in Warrior.
Oh, it was Abar.
Oh.
Producer for the Europe Grandmasters.
Yeah. As soon as you said
also
that to
previous
us.
pro player, high-level legend player, has a bunch of top 100 finishes, is always in top 100 legend whenever you
Abar, you're nuts.
He says that in the current metagame, Eternium Rover just is not good. In almost every matchup that you face right now, Eternium Rover doesn't help you or is a liability. Like against Mage, what does Eternium Rover actually do?
Yeah, its weakest matchup, you know? It doesn't do anything in that matchup, correct?
Well, okay, so one, I want to be fair to Abar and say this was a week ago when ladder was pretty much all mages.
Right, okay.
And two...
Which also I disagree with. It was really not the case.
So I had this thing where for a whole week, the first game of the day that I play every day, whether it was 10 a.m. or 8 p.m., would always be against Abar. And so we have a lot of sample size of games against each other, and we were having a lot of debates, and it was a lot of mages, at least that day. And so he was experimenting with a bunch of stuff and was saying how he doesn't like Eternium Rover. In that specific pocket of the metagame.
I love Eternium Rover. I think Eternium Rover is double Zilliax.
Does Muzzy have a mustache? Mustache. He's maturing before our eyes, damn.
The Ethiopian caterpillar. Slick with testosterone and bombs. Ready for some high-octane Hearthstone action.
Oh man, look at these transformations from season 1 to season 2.
That's
Purple with the haircut, looking clean, clean cut, and then
Buzz with the hair gains.
with the
hair gains.
Oh
yes. Oh yeah, wrench caliber. That's a lot of violence. I like that.
That's a real mustache move right there.
It's powerful.
What?
No tune can hold me.
Yeah, I think he wants more pressure going into potential Luna's Pocket Galaxy turn.
True. More recursive damage.
Yeah. Purple, on the other hand, Muzzy brought the Cycle Mage, but Purple brought the Reno Mage himself. One of the inclusions that's been making its way into the deck is the Elemental Evocation, which is interesting because the deck doesn't have like a ton of elementals. Obviously, it has Zephyrus the Great, which is an elemental. It has Mountain Giant and Tiamat. And Purple has actually opted to include a Water Elemental in the deck, which is very interesting. If you can Elemental Evocation out a Water Elemental, you're going to beat rogues. You're going to beat a lot of rogues. He's
Muzzy,
at 12!
He drew a bomb. His Zephyrus is active, though.
All right, there you go.
Oh, wait, he can evocate Zephyrus.
Yep.
Shut down the weapon.
Now, okay, weapon removal is the most inconsistent thing about Zephyrus.
Ah, you're
See?
right.
Weapon removal is I still have not figured out how to consistently get the right weapon removal with Zephyrus. There's often times where your opponent will have a weapon, there will be an empty board, you'll play Zephyrus with 2 mana remaining, hoping for an acidic swap boost, and it'll give you Harrison Jones. There's also situations where there's a very non-threatening board, and your opponent has a weapon, and you'll get backstab and removal options like cleave instead of weapon removal with 2 mana remaining. So it's I still haven't figured out the secret. If you have figured out the secret, let me know. I'm very interested in it. I think getting weapon from Zephyrus is one of the hardest things to navigate. But it does find Healing Touch, which will buy him some more time, especially with Luna's Pocket Galaxy rolling. Time is definitely on Purple's side.
Goes for Dr. Boom, trying to see if he can turn his cards into ways to gain tempo against Purple, who's inevitably looking to get to that crucial turn 8. Highlander Mage really wants to survive to the turn 8 and get that Tortolan Pilgrim online. All the minions that Purple are drawing are not that impactful, if at all.
Does have Stargazer Luna in hand, though, which is obviously very good with Luna's Pocket Galaxy, because Luna's Pocket Galaxy synergy.
Tends to work together fairly well, yeah.
Yeah, you can chain together big 1-mana minions in an ideal situation.
Yeah. I actually can't really think of too many scientists that actually work really well with the spells that came from the Doomsday Project. Wow! Dynamatic didn't kill the Frightened Flunky. That's a nice outcome here for Muzzy.
A little bit of a bonus, I'd say.
I'd say so, yeah.
This place is scary.
Ooh,
I love that fuse thing.
not the greatest options from the Frightened Flunky here. No class options. Which the class option is very powerful for Warrior because it's Frightened Flunky and Armageddillo.
You're in my
Yep, and 2
now.
Yep.
Flame Strike to deal with the board. Snip snaps. So how does Muzzy want to deal with this 5/5? Does he want a hero power? If he does, he gets to snip snap 3 times on the following turn. I feel like that seems pretty good.
This would be a good time
with
for
the
a
2
master
Ziliacs, he's got
plan.
some wiggle room here. What Muzzy has to be worried about, at least from his perspective, is like Alexstrasza into a chain 1-mana Archmage Antonidas. We obviously can see that's not a possibility because Purple drew the Archmage Antonidas before he played Luna's Pocket Galaxy. But for Muzzy, that's like one of the most threatening things as Warrior, is that amount of burst damage. So you usually want to save 1 Ziliax until post Alexstrasza for that very reason.
Yeah, Muzzy can preemptively trade into this. Also, can just utilize hero power. I do like the idea of pushing damage to hero power, but I think Muzzy just wants to build the board, recognizing that even though he'd love to get to the point where he can threaten his opponent with just lethal damage, if he doesn't deal with the board very effectively and set up his own, he could be in trouble. Water Elemental.
Behold the tools of
Ooh,
creation.
Scoundrel. Book of Specters? Okay, Frostbolt also works. I mean, the idea is that he wants to draw cards. He did pick up news.
It's a pretty big tool, since Muzzy still has a Wrench Caliber and a Super Collider left, but he just wants to keep that chain rolling. And Frost over here, I think primarily to try and protect the Stargazer Luna, because I don't think Purple picked up as much as he would have wanted there. The chain was stopped with the Flame Strike. And even already, throughout Grandmasters and just day 1 in Asia Pacific and Europe, we've already seen some insane mage turns made possible
By Stargaze Luna and Pocket Galaxy.
Yep.
So
like
then,
a friendly neighborhood Luna's Pocket Galaxy.
Okay, then.
Shield Slam just to shut down Luna's Pocket, or sorry, Luna's Pocket, Stargazer Luna in this position. Muzzy fighting back for the board. Is he gonna magnetize his Ziliax?
Doesn't look like it.
That's totally fine.
Ooh.
Slap that ooze.
Let's
Puzzle
go.
box, yucks.
So unless he picks up Power of Creation here, I think he jams the puzzle box.
Flame Strike, you can also make a case for here too.
Yeah, Flame Strike's good.
Flame Strike seems a lot better actually than puzzle box. 'Cause you stand to lose a lot too.
You do stand to lose a lot, but at this point, his hand is there's not much going for it, right?
You stand to lose a lot. You're ahead on board. With
Yeah.
this play,
No,
you're
right.
ahead on board.
You're right.
I don't care what you tell me to.
Yeah, you're right.
No way you can convince me
Okay.
otherwise.
Puzzle box Yoxeron.
Hey, it's the best card in Warrior. We're over.
Yeah, Spark Drill. Love it. Great card. 2 1/1 Sparks with Rush. Sign me up.
So then, with the replicating minutes, it's actually 4 mana to deal 6 damage. So he can Shield Slam, trade, Replicating Menace, trade. Control the state of the board.
Yep.
Purple is lacking on the card draw element of things.
That's where Puzzle Box Yoxeron comes in, Dan.
Draws a bunch of cards.
Yeah, Puzzle Box of Yoxeron plays Overflow like 50% of the time.
Counter spell. Purple really hoping that the Archmage Antonitis gets more value. Clockwork Goblin. It's a big pickup here for Muzzy.
I mean, Omega Defender actually takes... no, it doesn't.
It's not a mech.
It's not a mech. I'm so used to Omega being a mech, but Omega Defender is not a mech.
He's really hoping for no splitting image. He sees no mirror entity.
Yeah. And I wonder if you attack... Does it matter if you attack first? Well,
Yeah.
Hero Power happens first to play around Splitting Image at the very least.
Right.
If you attack first, you can Brawl. If you feel like that's the situation that you're faced with. But there goes Archmage Antonitis for purple, so his ability to deal damage now is very limited.
Yeah, I think that's like Muzzy pegging purple on what potentially could be the pick off the Scoundrel, as opposed to
Here we go.
possibility. Oh my goodness, the
Here we
puzzle
go.
box.
Paladin Secret, Hidden Wisdom. Oh, Totemic Smash. Oh, no, that one's not good.
All right.
Oh, nope, that one's not good. Okay, what do we get? Cosmic Anomaly and Loose Specimen.
Oh.
All right. Okay.
So heal the full and play a secret.
I told you.
Wait, what?
It always happens. 50% of the time.
It just draws overflow, or just plays overflow, and you draw a bunch of cards.
Imagine if he had played that. I don't know if that would have been good. Well, at least he got a Mountain Giant. He discarded what? Snip Snap, and was there one other card?
Yes, card 2 defender.
Card 2 Defender, okay.
I wonder if purple's running out of cards here. He's played Caligos. He's played the Archmage Antonitis.
He still has an Alexstrasza in the deck. Siamat, I believe, is in the deck.
He played the Pilgrim. Conjurer's Calling is definitely something that's on the mind for purple as well. Before you pull the trigger, you want to think about it.
Yeah, this Omega Defender's kind of a problem, though.
Yes, very much so. You can use the Ziliax here to get past through, and then Conjurer's Calling.
Yep. There's still multiple bombs in the deck as well. As you can see, Reno the Relic College is not active.
Spellbender and counterspell to stop any potential brawl.
And it's getting a little awkward for Muzzy. His hand is all removal and an Archivist Elysiana. So that was a very surprisingly powerful turn for Purple. The puzzle box actually ended up working out for him because it just drew him deeper into his deck. Like everything else that was played didn't matter, essentially. It buffed up that Clockwork Goblin Ziliax substantially, but he was able to deal with it with Polymorph. But now, Muzzy got to pull the trigger on the brawl. Purple hoping for Mountain Giant. Okay. Okay, Ziliax. It's still a Conjurer's Calling target, albeit a much less powerful one.
Bomb is drawn.
And there's
Reno's active.
Yep, one bomb left.
Sad to see Ziliax go, but wait, just kidding. Welcome back, Ziliax.
Science overwhelming.
Cosmic Anomaly comes down to the board. Purple just trying to build an onslaught of mid-range threats. Dynomatic. Or is it Security Rover? Both are viable picks.
Ziliax makes Dynomatic a little awkward because they can't rush into anything.
It's more specifically targeted, though.
That's true. But its rush effect would sort of be negated because he'd have to put it into the Divine Shield.
There's a recurring villain on the board that has 6 health, so it doesn't seem like Dynamac's that great in this spot. Maybe it is Security Rover.
Yeah. Paladin Reaper lets him Restless Mummy and Paladin Reaper in the same turn, so he can kill off the Cosmic Anomaly.
It is true.
But I don't think he hadn't tested for Noble Sacrifice there. And there's still...
Redemption?
No, Redemption he tested for last turn with Brawl. Same with Never Surrender. So the only thing he has left is Hidden Wisdom. So he's narrowed it down to Hidden Wisdom.
Siamat. A threatening card in its own right. Does Purple use the second copy of Conjurer's Calling, too?
I think Conjurer's Calling is the once everything is gone, I play something in Conjurer's Calling. I think Conjurer's Calling is going to be saved for Alexstrasza.
What to do?
I think you just see him on here, honestly.
Muzzy's almost out of the woods. There's only a few cards remaining in Purple's deck, but some of them are his most powerful ones.
Yep, including Alexstrasza, which this would be essentially a lead upsetter for Alexstrasza.
Oh, okay. Well, Muzzy only has a 50-50 brawl at best to remove this.
And if he... Okay, Super Glider's good because now he has an answer to the second Conjurer's Calling in theory. He can use a Brawl for removal, and he can use Conjurer's Calling for removal. But
He's so scared of Alexstrasza in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be, right?
Alternatively, is there like a way for Muzzy to get aggressive with Wrench Caliber? He knows the bomb's in the deck, and Wrench Caliber can deal 16.
It's
still not enough.
So it'd be 21, and then he can reasonably hope for 1 fatigue tick, maybe 2 fatigue ticks before he dies if he goes that route.
Yeah, if he brawls here, he might still be in a really tough spot because then Purple just plays Alexstrasza anyways, and then he has to deal with an 8/8.
Yeah.
And, you know, even in the best case scenario, it's still a 3/6 that survives, so it's still a lot of power.
Yeah.
It's a tough spot here for Muzzy. Super Collider.
What's the other last card for Purple?
Bomb, Alexstrasza.
Golden Wraith?
Possibly, yes.
Because there's 2 cards left. One is a bomb. And one, I think, would be the Bone Wraith. And
yeah, Muzzy knew this. 3 cards remaining. It was likely that Purple would be able to draw it eventually. And with that Fireball, that game is over. Game 1 to Purple. Luna's Pocket Galaxy kicking in, but Purple almost got stopped. It was his last wave of threats that got him over the hump.
yeah, and surprisingly enough, I think the unsung MVP there was the puzzle box of Yaxaron. If he hadn't drawn deeper into his deck, none of that
or healed.
Or healed, that wouldn't have been possible, right?
Healed to full.
Well, he healed to full, but he was already high health going into that turn because of the healing touch and the Ziliax that he played. He was very close.
I mean,
he was at 20, I think.
you sure?
No.
He healing touch, holy fired, and still wasn't at full health.
He was full health. The overflow only healed 2 to himself.
Okay.
So he healed. He did heal a lot during that
He
sequence.
was at 15.
Okay, he was at 15. Okay, fair enough.
That's a really big deal.
So that plus the amount of cards that he was able to draw, even overdrawing card 2 defender to snap, not like the superstars in the deck. They're good, but not the superstars in the deck. And that let him, have enough to be able to kill Muzzy before he could stabilize and give Muzzy less time. So, unsung MVP, and even after that, Luna's Pocket Galaxy still is just such a powerful card at any stage. So Muzzy loses in unfavorable, not the end of the world, but
it's about expected.
Yeah.
It's about expected. The mustache is powering up. Maybe he goes to the mirror and trims it a little bit. Maybe TJ goes to the bathroom so he doesn't get showed up. I can't do anything like that because, well, look at me. That's how it is. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to find out what happens in game number 2. It's best of 3. You're watching the Hearthstone Grandmasters. Back everyone to the Hearthstone Grandmasters Season 2 Day 1 kickoff. Muzzy versus Purple. 1 game in. We're going to find out if Purple can close the series 2-0 on behalf of Tepastorm, a relatively new acquisition for the team.
That's right.
Given the departure of Muzzy, I don't think there's any really bad blood there. No rivalry. So
no, there is. They hate each other.
Yeah. Mortal enemies on combat, as well as personally.
I don't think we have any rivalries in Americas, do we?
We do.
Who?
We have the ever famous GMs versus taking criticism. It's a really big rivalry. We have, yeah, so, you know, Frozen versus passive play.
Yep.
Yeah, fire bats and weird decisions and missing 0.0001% chance for lethals.
Yeah,
We also
I forgot
have
about all those.
We also have half the region and work ethic.
Yeah, my bad. I misspoke. We have plenty of rivalries here in the Americas region of Grandmasters. As you can see on the screen, Muzzy's going to be playing the Warrior, and Purple's going to be playing the Priest. So rough matchup for Purple. Definitely not unwinnable, but very tough. Warrior has so much removal packed in the deck, and Priest is a deck that can only win if they have a board. And they can buff that board. So we'll see. Definitely not an impossible one. And there are some creative plays you can make. There's a match that sticks out in my mind from the Masters Tour in Korea. It was Suni versus Magaho? Is that correct?
I think so, yes.
Where Suni managed to navigate a very difficult set of turns against Warrior to set up the perfect lethal very late into the game, like in fatigue.
Is someone injured?
Like his last resource, with his dying breath, he was able to kill him, which is very cool.
Yes.
So, still a lot to be discovered with the deck, a lot of things to find out. But Northshire Cleric, to start things off on turn 1, is the Catalyst. The key that unlocks the door to paradise, Dan.
I think so. I think Northshire Cleric is the linchpin of all Priest decks.
It's the cue for the Autobots.
Wasn't sure where you were going with, but yeah, no, it totally is super valuable to it, and Muzzy might justify shield slamming it. I think it's entirely warranted in this spot. It does stink that you're using a premium removal source to get there, but you know, you never know with this deck. The thing is, part of the reason why it's largely considered to be combo deck is, one, you have a lot of pieces to try to assemble a relatively easy combo, Divine Spirit and Interfire. But the second thing is, it's really dependent on card draw, in my opinion. I don't know too many aggressive decks that are super dependent on aggro, on card draw. I think one of them was like Aggro Paladin back in the day.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's aggro decks tend to just draw whatever they get and then just end the game from there.
Yeah. F's in the chat for Divine Spirit.
Why Divine Spirit?
Not Divine Spirit, Divine Favor.
TJ, do you know something I don't know?
No. Divine Favor.
Gotcha.
Sure. Unless you're a wild player, then happy faces in the chat.
Well, it's kind of like a wild player. Wild player's just happy to be there. It's like Finland. Wild players are like Finland. Every time Finland's mentioned in the newspaper, they actually have a meme that they post in chat saying, "They mentioned us."
And then whenever there's an injustice in Finland, the entire world gets upset about it, but they're not going to go there. They're not going to help.
I love it. No, Savitz is the one who told me this. That they actually just celebrate every time Finland is mentioned anywhere in a newspaper, in media. I know it's really funny. That must be what it feels like to be a wild player. I mean, they got Barnes nerfed, okay? Finally. So,
what's the analogy?
Wild players matter. Oh man,
I don't know enough about Finland.
I know nothing about Finland except
don't know enough about Wild either.
About Son. Yeah, what about Hearthstone? Still working
Debatable.
on that.
Still working on it.
that. I know that Finland, they have great saunas. And really, 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 really tall dudes. They are huge.
And powerful combos.
Big combos.
Wait, did the analogy stop?
Huge dude and huge decks.
That's right.
All right, well, purple is going to keep up this momentum. I would love an extra arms in this position just to push damage. Muzzy might be forced to brawl in this spot, but outside of that 2-2, the outcomes aren't that preferable. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Okay, maybe the game plan shifts to our Megadillo instead, and then you Plague of Wrath with the Warpath.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that might actually dramatically switch things up here.
But our Megadillo, there's an argument for playing it once you've cleared the board, as opposed to a way to soak damage. Ziliax is the only top minion in the hand currently. But Fuzzy says, I don't care about that argument. I have a mustache now. I make my own.
Your arguments are invalid.
I wonder if Saiyan has a mustache. Because they live together.
That's just not physically possible.
Maybe he just cut off some of his blonde hair, glued it onto his upper lip.
I really hope it's just the most egregiously fake mustache that he got from some party costume store.
It looks exactly like Muzzy's.
Yeah. It's great.
I wonder.
Purple really thinking hard about how to navigate this one.
This is tough because there's so many pieces of removal to play around that I honestly think you just don't play around any. I don't know.
So you just punch and then heal and pass.
Yeah. It's maybe you can minimize brawl by trading in the Nefer set. But he's gonna replace it with a Light Warden.
Yeah, light development, and then see what Muzzy does. Muzzy can clear in a multitude of ways.
Yeah.
The best is Plague of Wrath. Ooh, Dr. Boom Mad Genius is looking really bad. Priest struggles against the Warrior with their removal, because if you just keep killing their stuff, they don't have any minions to play Divine Spirit and Fire on.
Job's done.
Very cool animation from Plague of Wrath. One of the many plagues. I feel like one of the only ones that.
Hey,
Only
speak to
4
me.
plagues?
That's many. Wait, no, it doesn't every. I thought every class had a plague. Am I incorrect?
Well, there's Plague of Wrath for Warrior.
There's
Plague of Death for Priest. Plague of Murlocs for Shaman.
There's the Dagger Plague for
Rogue.
the Plague of Rat, or the Plague of the 1-mana Plague for Warlock that activates that you kill minion and kill all your minions. For every minion you kill your opponent's minion.
Yeah, Plague of Flames.
Plague of Flames, that's the one.
There's Spreading Plague for Druid.
The Druid is.
There's Plague of Toads.
There's one for every class.
No, it's for the 5 villains. It's their response to the League of Heroes. That's what I thought.
Job's done.
No, I think you're right.
No, it's not like you work.
Well, because who's. Yeah, because Togwaggle You know more about the lore than I do.
I guarantee you that that is not true.
Yeah, you're right. All the villains.
In the light's name.
Because I was thinking to myself, there's no way that Rogue is a villain. It's Togwaggle.
Togwaggle's the villain.
Dr. Boom is the warrior villain.
Yes.
And then Hagatha is the
Shaman
shaman villain.
Yes. Farms the warlock.
And
Togwaggle
Madame
being
Lazul is the.
Yeah.
Is the priest.
Togwaggle being a rogue always gets me because I just cannot fathom Togwaggle shadow stepping and nobody sees him. Just no one rocks that kind of dad bod and goes by unnoticed, TJ.
And I'm sneaky.
Exhibit A. Object to my right.
You'd be surprised.
I want to see you once you step.
I scare my son every day.
Your son knows when you're coming.
He doesn't. He has no idea.
Oh,
All I have,
I know when you're coming down this stairs.
I could just put a piece of paper in front of my face. He thinks I've disappeared forever.
That's true. It's very amazing that your son knows how to play Hearthstone on the iPad, yet he's blind. All right, Muzzy. Now that Purple has comboed his way back into the relevance, destroyed the board a little bit, set things up. It's about to go bye-bye because he has the ability to go for the French Caliber and the Restless Mummy here, shut things down completely. Purple's down to one card. This is a stomp. It is just not close.
Yep.
Purple trying desperately to flounder for some board control. Finally gets it, and all he's left is with a Ritualist.
Yeah, he needs to find a couple of big sequence of draws here, and an Inner Fire is not that.
I mean, that is the combo.
You can just make a 6/6 and say go.
And Muzzy can kill it if he just gets Dr. Boom into the right hero power. Oh, that's this Muzzy.
Yep.
All right, that's
No tune can hold me.
not that Purple had high expectations, but the Warrior crushing the Priest this badly. I haven't seen Priest get stomped like this.
It doesn't always look this brutal.
Yeah.
Oftentimes they get there, but it's close. Like the Priest is a couple points off of lethal, and they have to like wait to set it up, and then they eventually get all their stuff killed.
High Priest of Met is a pretty decent pickup.
So he needs Psycho Pump.
Yes, Psycho Pomp would be big.
Yep.
Muzzy in the meantime, just press in here for lethal, or not lethal, for damage, and then set up a lethal.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Time goes on.
I was thinking that, oh yeah, you just play Snip Sap here because you want board development, but the Snip Sap, because of Dr. Boom, has to rush anyway.
Yeah.
So it's the same as if you would set it up next turn. You just have an additional option potentially.
Good on Purple to keep playing it through though, because you never know if you end up getting the nuts, the high rolls.
Yeah.
Clockwork Goblin gonna hit it in. Purple finally gonna concede. Ironic that I said good to play it out.
Well, that's longer than Purple normally plays it out.
Yeah.
And the Stash takes a win, puts himself on the board.
It's a long con. He wants max. The mustache demands maximum screen time.
That's right.
Yeah. It
He'll
feeds off of every second it's on camera.
It grows. A couple centimeters at a time. I'm gonna be back.
It's actually really fast.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think I posted a picture on social media, but I completely shaved for the first time in 10 years.
When?
Over the break of Grandmasters, a week after Grandmasters ended.
And you posted a picture of yourself?
I don't think I did. I have it. My wife told me to post it on social media because I look completely different.
I want to see.
I had not. So I was. I just turned 29.
Congrats.
Thank you. And so I was 28 at the time, and I had not been clean shaven since I was 18. I had not fully shaved my beard since I was 18. And I felt like I had to. It was weird. It was very weird. My son cried.
You feel naked?
My son cried.
Your son cried.
I swear.
He wept.
He did not recognize me.
Of your goatee.
He didn't recognize me. He thought I was a stranger. And so he cried. It made me very sad. He eventually warmed up to me, and then my beard grew back. And but it was weird because I shaved, and then also I put on a hat later. And he cried again because he once again didn't recognize me. It was a weird, traumatic, enlightening experience, and I'm ranting as you are being told in your ear to go to a break. Are you?
No, you
okay.
told me the next game.
I can keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, good experience. Maybe I'll post it later.
You should post it later. I want to see TJ without a beard. Muzzy's going to Priest, by the way. This is the feature of the Conquest Shield format where you bring 4 decks, but you're only required to win with 2 of them. You do get 1 banned, but you do get to protect 1, and then you have to only win with 2. Purple's going to be playing Hunter. You saw the Priest a little bit. Purple with the Reno Hunter. It'll be the first time we see it on broadcast today, which I'm looking forward to seeing. I think Reno Hunter stands to be one of the big winners of the patch. I think Hunter already was on the cusp of being a dominant class in the metagame. I think Mage and Warrior and Priest stole the thunder of Hunter to some extent.
Yeah, Hunter, I believe, boasts the highest or one of the highest win rates on like HS Replay, for instance, on ladder across many different ranks, but still there. I think that it's very flexible in its game plan in the fact that it's not like a control killer, it's not an aggro killer, but it has decent matchups against everything. Purple has some non-standard inclusions, at least from my experience. Leroy floats its way in and out of the deck. Staz, who made a deep run at the Masters Tour in Korea, it did include a Leroy Jenkins in his deck, but a lot of the ladderlists don't. Purple also has a baited arrow and a fairy dragon. So those are kind of the little bit off the wall inclusions.
Interesting.
I do tend to like this matchup a lot because of Zephyrus, because of things like Pressure Plate and Freezing Trap and Snipe. You can contest early boards very well if you have the right draws.
Yes.
The problem with that is you need the right draws, and because it's a Highlander deck, you only have 1-ups. It's a little bit inconsistent with what it does. While I said it has like decent matchups against everything, if you're trying to target one specific matchup with the deck, you need to get pretty fortunate with your mulligans. Because while this hand may be good for other matchups, probably isn't that great for priests. But Snake Trap,
Is someone injured?
can always mess with him.
Yep. Sees that it's not Snipe. Does have the opportunity to attack with the 2/6, but is afraid of that freezing trap, like you mentioned, and he can bounce the Ritualist instead. Oh, okay. Taking out a 2/6 is pretty valuable here, but at the same time, it doesn't stop the secret diffusal. Muzzy attacking the face here would absolutely know that's Rat Trap or Snake Trap.
Or Pressure Plate. He has not played the
Actually,
spell
you're
yet.
right. Never mind. So it doesn't narrow down too much.
Yeah, he did narrow down Freezing and Explosive, but Purple doesn't even have Explosive in the deck, and he doesn't have Misdirect.
Shadowward Pain. That is the perfect card to answer down there.
Funnily enough, when you wish for the perfect card, you get it.
So Muzzy wants to play the extra arms, but knows about the possibility of that Pressure Plate. It's not Pressure Plate. I think that's what makes it so scary. I wonder if Muzzy can maybe just tack the 2/3 into the Zephyrus, test for the Snake Trap first, and then react with Wild Pyromancer. Oh, just goes for it.
Woo!
Okay. So now that he knows it's Rat Trap or
Snake Trap.
it's Snake Trap, and then when he gets this, this is going to be a huge payoff here for Muzzy.
Yeah. Can attack here. Go trade Neferset into one of these snakes and then Circle of Healing. Draw 2 cards, remove the board. Have a 3/4, 2/2, and a 3/1 on board. Seems decent to me. Huh.
Well, this just draws 3
Oh,
cards.
this just draws 3 cards, but it uses a silence. It's like trading silence for another card is effectively what it is.
I'm down. There's not too many cards you want to silence in the Hunter deck.
There's
a lot of them.
Snap, Ziliax. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Houndmaster Shaw.
Oh yeah, Houndmaster Shaw.
Maybe a Siamat. But one thing about the Reno Hunter is that it's largely spell-driven. I mean, there are some really key cards like Zephyrus and Brand, but you generally do have a lot of spells you're dependent upon, and a lot of your minions are high-impact battle cries.
Yep.
Forbidden Words, a little tech card here from Muzzy to be able to do some single target removal. Can start off things with some card draw. Never set Ritualist.
Yep.
Is what I'm looking at immediately.
Can actually draw a lot of cards this turn if he so chooses.
Yes. Oh boy, more arms and Circle of Healing. I wonder if there's a chance for this to even just be death. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Nothing's high enough health on the board. And he doesn't have enough mana now after that expenditure.
Yeah, I mean, if you had like a topsy-turvy, maybe. Okay, choosing the Injured Soldier instead, I like it.
Yeah, getting rid of the Wild Pyromancer, which at this stage oftentimes can be a liability. It interrupts your combos quite a bit.
Purple with the Grimace. Recognizing that, well, that was pretty close to ideal from Muzzy. And Pressure Plate, Freezing Trap, great secrets. Not enough.
Ooh, what is he looking for?
Mark Shot doesn't do enough, Bait and Arrow doesn't do enough, Kill Command doesn't do enough. And, you know, had Muzzy gone for a Circle of Healing play on the Pyromancer, his minions would be at 4 health. That would be in line with Mark Shot. It's small stuff like that, which might make a huge difference, and it currently is.
I don't know what specifically Purple was looking for, because in my mind, just playing the triple secrets, Rat Trap, Freezing Trap, Pressure Plate was like enough.
Well played.
This should be death? No. Yes. Powered Shield.
There's the Pressure Plate.
In the light's name.
You're right. He's just
Is someone
hedging right now.
injured?
He needs this not to die, so he's loading up as many minions as he can, given his mana.
Yep. And the Pressure Plate looks like it hasn't sniped it. And Purple sees, well, you draw 19 cards of your deck. It's likely you draw combo pieces. Priest does Priest things. And Muzzy's going to start off Grandmaster Season 2 with a victory over Purple.
Yeah. I think he was looking for specifically Deadly Shot with that track.
Ah, yes.
Because that would allow him to Deadly Shot and then Pressure Plate, which I guess is the same as Freezing, but nonetheless, I think he was just feeling like he was in a desperate situation. Needed to find some type of out that gave him a better chance than just playing Triple Secret. Muzzy taking the win.
Taking the big W. And, you know, the Hunter deck, with its first showing here, not very strong against things like the Priest when it starts off like that. But
yeah.
I think people start to get the idea. You know, when you get that North Share Clerk going, you get the buffs going, it starts to snowball very quickly.
Oh, yeah. Purple even had, like, being able to kill the injured Tolvir with the Huffer pickup from Animal Companion, had the Zephyrs for the Shadow of Pain on High Priest Ahmet, but just wasn't enough at the end of the day to subdue the Priest.
All right, let's go ahead and check in with Muzzy for a couple words on his victory.
Whew.
Muzzy, you there?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Woo.
Why are you smiling? Why are you grinning so much, huh?
Look at that stash, buddy.
He knows. He knows it's the first thing we're going to talk about.
Do I don't know. I was a bit tired today. Like I didn't sleep well, so I made a bunch of mistakes, but I don't know if I noticed them. So
No, you trimmed it really well. I'd say.
No, it looks good. It looks good.
Make sure you got the
It's nice and even.
shape. Yeah, I don't see too much patches. I think you did a good job shaving them.
Yeah, I like the little stubble down on the chin too. No.
I don't see any mistakes.
Pick yourself up, man.
Yeah.
It's well played mustache.
I've been
Working on it, yeah. Well, so Muzzy, in all seriousness, talk to us a little about the series. What was the point that you felt unsure about? Were there certain decisions, or was it a big macro strategy, perhaps?
Game one, I felt like I had what I needed to win. Like I felt a lot of stuff was going my way, but towards the end there, like I didn't find the Omega Devastator, the Omega Assemblies, the removal for the big minions. You know, I knew he still had Alex left, and I had this one Brawl that I was holding on to all game for the board. I was thinking if he doesn't draw the Alex, then maybe I can get a max something else to survive, and then when he does have the Conjure for the Alex, I'll have Brawl Omega Devastator by that point. But I died a bit early. The puzzle box really healed him up to full when I had the bombs outs and drew a bunch of cards. So what can you do?
Puzzle box sometimes gets you, man.
Yeah, it does. You know, how's your mentality going to season 2 here? I do know that people put a lot of expectations on. You've qualified for World Championships 2 years in a row, and then also topped the standings basically the year before that. Anything shifted from season 1 going to season 2 here for you, Muzz?
Well, I mean, the format changed and it's multi-class now, so I'm a big fan of that. I love playing multiple decks. I love building lineups and showcasing, you know, mastery over multiple different archetypes and decks. I felt like it plays to my strengths in the past, so I hope this new format gets me the results that I want.
Gotcha. How's been adjusting, living on the West Coast now that you've been there for a couple months?
Yeah, I'm getting a bit more used to it. I traveled to Vegas and then I was in Korea for the tour stop there. We went to Korea a bit early, so had a bit more extra time to spend there. It's nice. I mean, the no weather thing is pretty good, but with the new GM starting, I'm trying to get back into better schedule, better sleep schedule, and try to fix things from when I arrived from Korea.
Gotcha. TJ, any questions here for? Oh, actually, I have one for Muzzy, but you go first.
Well, it might be the same question.
Okay.
Does Saiyan also have a mustache?
No. I only
Okay.
grew this mustache because one of my other friends, Frank, was growing a stash, and he's like, "Hey, Muzz, you should grow a stash too." And I was like, "Why not?" So
Yeah,
maybe I'll just do
accountability
it for the
partners.
season.
Frank in a box?
Yeah, Frank in a box.
Wow.
I wonder how
I
Frank
like
in
it.
a
You
box
guys
looks with a
are,
mustache, too.
yeah, accountability partners to grow the mustache.
Yeah,
That's
there you
great.
go.
Does it have a name?
Yeah, the mustache, Muzzstachue.
Low hanging fruit. Yeah.
We already caught it. We already caught it.
Oh,
We
you-
dumped
At least you
covered-
caught one thing right this series.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Muzz. Congratulations, or Mr. Muzz.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, the two of you, and have a wonderful day. We'll see you later this weekend.
Yeah, see you guys.
All right. Well, that's our third series in the books.